You have to have new beliefs to create new behaviors, and those new behaviors is what creates the results.
Yeah.
So if you want to change what you're getting, you have to change what you're doing. I believe there's no balance, there's priorities. So at some point, you got to clear the schedule, go pay attention to the kids or the wife.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to your wife, you'll come home, find out she ain't your wife. People confuse activity with progress. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're going anywhere. My wife and my kids and I got problems and my rent's due. Boo-hoo. There's people that would pray to be in the position you're in right now. And if I walked into your house in that situation with a gun to your head and you knew I was about to pull the trigger, would you care that you owed rent?
No.
What if I was about to blow your kid's head off? Would you care that they're getting bad grades?
Nope.
Yeah, but we don't celebrate the fact that we wake up every day
with
a whole nother chance to do anything. So again, I choose gratitude first thing in the morning, which changes my energy. And the energy and the vibrational frequency that you give off will attract like energy.
Welcome back to the Cannonball Mindset. My name is Chad Sanschagrin, your host. But today, man, we've had some killer guests on. We know we've had Gary, we have Ryan, we have Jesse. Man, we got the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only Brad Lea. If you don't know him, you must be living under a rock because he's everywhere. His face is everywhere. His podcast is everywhere. He's a writer, author, entrepreneur, and he probably has, well, not even probably, he's got the coolest office compound of any building I've ever been into. And so we get to spend the next hour or so with the man, the myth, the legend, Brad Lea.
Well, thank you. I'm amongst great company.
Thanks for coming on. And I know this is going to be a real podcast because you don't sugarcoat anything. This brand you have, how did you create the brand of just, hey, I just tell the truth? Like it, don't like it, I'm gonna challenge you. Is that always your ethos, or have you evolved to this brand that you have now?
I think it's always kind of been in the personality traits, but I was a little bit too worried about other people's opinions growing up, and then at some point I just realized you can't make everyone happy.
Yeah.
You realize that?
Yeah.
And I think I keep things very simplistic or logical is what I like to say, because it is logic. You can't make everyone happy. And one day I'm sitting there going, man, I can't make everyone happy. I do this, they get pissed. I do that, they get pissed. I post this, they get mad. I post that, they get mad. So I'm like, man, I got to choose somebody, right? I got to pick a side here. So I started just thinking, and I realized, like, my name's not on that list. You know, if my name was on that list of who to make happy, it'd be an easy choice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right.
So I just added my name. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to start making myself happy.
Yeah.
Because I can't make anyone else happy for sure. And there's always going to be someone mad. So the only thing I can control is me, you know, which again, looking back, it's like, well, duh, I should have done that the whole time. But it took me a while to learn. And that's where the whole tell the truth and be real and just be yourself. And if someone doesn't like it, you know, I like it. So I'm not trying to be offensive, but if I happen to be, well, then let me apologize in advance.
So let's go back before Brad Lea, the influencer, Brad Lea on every social media channel, Brad Lea, before Brad Lea, the podcast host, before Brad Lea, the author, before Brad Lea, the entrepreneur. Who were you then? Where were you? Like, how did you get here? Because people look at you and they, you know, they wonder, somebody might scroll upon you today for the first time. And they're like, oh, well, this guy, it's easy for this guy because he's got all these followers. But this was a culmination of years of something. How did you get to here?
Well, what's cool about social media is everyone starts at zero. So whoever you see with a lot of followers either bought them or earned them.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't buy any followers. I just started posting on social media 3 to 4 times a day, every single day.
Yeah.
And it's been probably 7 years now of that. And if you look at most people's social media, how many posts they put up, it's not enough.
Yeah.
And so I realized a brand's important by hanging out with Grant and all these other influencer guys. And so I just said, I'm going to start building mine. And everyone has one. Everyone's got a brand. Everyone has a brand.
Yeah.
The question is who knows about it? And social media is the new television. I literally get stopped in the airport for pictures, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I see you on TV every day," and I'm like, "I'm not on TV," and they're like, "Well, Instagram," and I started realizing, like, man, this is the new TV.
It's a new TV.
Yeah, so I figured since I have a phone, that's the TV station. I might as well get myself a channel. So I just started posting. Took me a little minute to figure out kind of what worked, but I realized being the content was better than making content. So I just allowed the camera to follow me, and everything I'm saying and doing is recorded.
Yeah.
And then, boom, let the world see it and not be worried about other people's opinion.
But to go back before that, like
Before that?
yeah, we'll go back. Like at what point did you say, okay, I'm going to start posting content. I'm going to be the content. I'm going to be the brand. Like, what drove you to do that? What were you doing before you even got on social media?
I was helping everybody else build their social media and their stages per se. So here's kind of the story. I'll go all the way back just to catch up properly.
Yeah.
Like at 16 or 17 years old, I came from a blue collar family. So everyone thought, hard work was the way to do it. So they kept pressuring me to get a real job. They kept saying, get a real job. And so a real job to them meant, $22 an hour, mill worker. So I went out and I applied with the U.S. Forest Service and was told that I'm going to be a firefighter in the Pacific Northwest where the fires go. And so I show up for the first day of work and they throw me this big heavy bag of water. They called a piss bag. And they said, put that on and go squirt the stumps that are smoldering. The firefighters had already come through and put out all the fires.
Yeah.
I'm just some grunt in the back with this heavy backpack filled with water, climbing up and down mountains, squirting on stumps. I thought I was going to show up like frickin', Paul Bunyan or something. I was picturing myself in a flannel shirt with an axe over my shoulder and like, soot on my face and a wolf by my side out there saving eagle eggs,
And it wasn't none of that.
No, I was a piss bag operator. And so the first day I get poison oak and I go up to the guy and I'm like, listen, I got poison oak. I might not be able to come in for a few days. And he opens his shirt and he's covered in it. And he said, dude, everybody here's got poison oak. That's part of the job. So get out there and go to work. And instantly I said, dude, this isn't for me. So I quit. Everyone freaked out in my family. So I went the next day, opened up the newspaper and saw a job for sales, selling cars. So I went in and applied, got the job. First day I was there, they say, go pick a car. I said, what do you mean? They said, you get a car to drive. It's called a demo. So you can just pick a car, put a dealer plate on it and take it. And I said, well, what kind of car? They said, any kind you want. So there's a row of Trans Ams. I'm a 18-year-old dude.
Yeah.
And there's a row of Trans Ams with T-tops. I'm thinking, man, this they want me to have a car. These guys want me to have poison oak.
Yeah.
See, again, logical decision.
Logical
it wasn't
value,
rocket science.
That's right.
So I say, okay, great. And I put the dealer plate on a Trans Am and I want to get off work so bad just to drive around because, I didn't have a car. So long story short, customers were coming in there looking for cars. Like it wasn't like I was trying to switch them from a bag of oranges to a car. They were coming in looking for a car. And this guy, whoever owned the dealership, gave me hundreds of pieces of equipment to sell. And all I had to do was sit there and be nice and show them the cars. And dude, it was a no-brainer. So I started excelling in sales and then I realized.
Had you ever sold anything before?
Yeah. You ever heard of a natural? Like a natural salesperson?
Yeah.
So at 6 years old in first grade, they gave me a big box of candy bars to sell.
The dollar candy bars.
Yeah, the world's finest chocolate.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I went home and my family didn't buy any. In fact, two of my brothers ate half the box without paying for them. And so I need to sell some. So I leave the house. I start knocking on doors. First door, want to buy a candy bar. No, nothing was really happening. And if I did sell one, it was one at a time. So I figured, man, I got to come up with something to say. And again, this is a 6-year-old kid, right?
Yeah.
I knock on the door to one house. I put the candy bars behind my back. And for some reason, I said, do you have the phone number to a good roof repairman? And they said, what? And I said, because when you taste one of these, you're going to go through the roof. And they started buying the whole box at a time. And I outsold every kid. And I literally was being handed candy bars that they had left over for me to go sell. And I sold every candy bar the school got that year.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is the only year that's ever happened. And probably still a record.
Yeah.
So
they still sell those candy bars too.
Yeah, so I mean, like, no one taught me to do that.
Yeah.
I still to this day wonder, like, how did I come up with that?
Where did it come from?
Yeah, where did that come from? But I knew I had to say something.
Yeah.
And so I think I had a little natural ability. Maybe I'm, clever, sharp, quick-witted. I don't know.
Yeah.
But when I was 6, that happened. So I was already, kind of gifted when it comes to the gift of gab, as they call it.
So you're now at the car dealership, and you got a Trans Am, and you start selling, start having success.
I started selling cars. Then I got really good at selling cars and started getting into personal development and reading about sales. And I thought my whole life was going to be easy. I was just going to sell, make a ton of money, and end up becoming a dealer.
Yeah.
So long story short, stayed in the car business. I jumped in and out, sold art for a minute, sold RVs for a minute. I've sold a lot of things, but ultimately, mainly car business.
Yeah.
So, which is a great boot camp for people.
Yeah, for sure.
Teaches you thick skin, teaches you how to overcome objections. You work, you kind of get tough.
Yeah.
So, I was in the car business. I helped somebody at my dealership come out of the lot bay, the porter, and put him up front, showed him how to make some money, and I watched the impact it made for his family. And then I said, I'm going to start a sales training company to teach people sales, because I liked the way it made me feel to watch how it helped this family.
Yeah.
Because this guy was a good dude, and he had a nice wife, nice kids, but they were like very quiet and demure and almost like ashamed, it seemed. But he was on minimum wage, and it's hard to take care of a family on minimum wage.
That's exactly right. You better make some commissions.
Yeah, so I moved him over to sales and taught him to sell, and that made a big difference for him. He started making 15, 20 grand a month. I thought it felt good, so I said, man, I'm going to start a training company. So I quit my job, started a training company, ran out on the road, and it didn't work very well, and I couldn't figure out why it didn't work. So ultimately, I sat back and I thought, because I could do it when I was working.
Yeah.
I was pulling people out of Burger King windows and turning them into badass salespeople overnight.
Yeah.
Like, I was good at training people to sell, close, manage. Like, I was
you had it.
Dude, I could turn literally someone with zero experience into a 20-car salesperson in 30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
I thought I could continue to do that for myself.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. So I kind of decided to look at what I used to do versus what I'm doing. And I came up with the 4 key ingredients that real training is all about. You need the right content, repetition, practice, and accountability. So when I worked there, I was there all day, every day with them. I gave them the content. I gave them the right content. Yeah. Then I gave it to them with repetition. I had them practice over and over and over, and I hold them accountable.
Yeah.
So when I went out on the road, all I was delivering was the good content.
Yeah. You weren't there for the accountability and the repetition part. That was on their sales manager.
I was only there for a day.
Yeah.
Maybe 2. They'd pay me $5-10 grand to show up for the day.
Yeah.
And I'd show up, and there'd be a room full of people, and I'd train them, and I gave them all that information, and I left, and no impact. So I couldn't figure it out. I realized the 4 ingredients, so I said, I got to create something that fixes this for me. And I created LightSpeed. Yeah. So LightSpeed, this was in 2000. And keep in mind, there was no training online in 2000.
Correct.
So there was nothing to use. I had to build it. So I found people, built LightSpeed VT, it started working. And then I ran into competition. People used Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and Grant Cardone and Joe Verdi and all these big name trainers.
Yeah, right.
And so at one point, I asked the dealer that was telling me no for my training, because they used these people. I said, well, let me ask you a question. If I had those people in this system, would you buy it? They're like, oh, if this was theirs, absolutely. Oh, I'd take it right now. And I'd heard, and you know, I started to realize, like, hold on a minute. Let me go talk to them about doing this. So I just stopped selling the businesses my training and started selling the trainers my business.
Your platform.
Yeah, so I white labeled my platform for them, showed them where their customers were. Grant Cardone, Zig Ziglar, all the big name trainers at the time. Which Grant wasn't a big name in the world like he is now. He was in the car business though. Anyway, so I closed Grant and everybody else, all the top trainers. So I used to like to say, I'm the guy that closes the guy that teaches you to close. So I went and closed all of these sales trainers on using my platform, and I just helped them. Yeah. And so I just helped them build stages and events and training and curriculum and courseware. And then social media started. So I was kind of paying attention and what they were doing. And next thing you know, their brands are getting big. And at one point I'm like, dude, I gotta make sure I get a brand. About 7 years ago, I just said, man, this is too easy. I better get on it. Because it's not overnight if you do it for real. Yeah. You might get lucky with a couple viral videos like the Hawk Tuah girl, but usually that's not necessarily I think the most solid way of doing it. No, where'd she go, by the way?
Yeah, jail.
Where's she at?
Yeah, nowhere.
Oh, I don't know where she went, but bottom line is, it's a consistent, ongoing thing. So I just decided to start. So I started doing it, boom, 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 and now I have followers. Yeah. So where was I before? Dude, working. Yeah. You know, getting experience, getting beat up, bruised.
So now you are where you are. You don't need to keep doing this anymore.
Doing what?
Giving all this content away for free, doing all the podcasts, why do you do it now? Your situation has changed. Your financial situation has changed. Your influence has changed. You're a highly sought after keynote speaker. You can just go around making a killing, speaking for 45 minutes and jetting out. Why do you still redline it?
Well, because again, I mean, you're relevant only when you're current. You can become irrelevant very quickly. So you want to keep up. You want to keep your show on the airwaves. Yeah. Not only that, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's true when Zig Ziglar says, if you want the best way to get what you want is to help others get what they want. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I, closed him too. So I had a lot of conversations with him, and I never really understood that because I was always like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. But now that I'm a little older, it makes perfect sense. And so if you really want to make a lot of money, just figure out how to help a lot of people. Yeah. Like earnestly and honestly help. Don't try to figure out how to figure out how to give. Yeah. And so I've learned a lot in my life. I got kicked out of my house at 16. I've been homeless. I've been in and out of trouble. Like, I'm a pretty knowledgeable guy. My company almost was stolen from me. I've read through 1 million contracts. I've closed 1 million deals. I've seen a lot. I'm a well-seasoned individual. Oh. That's just a fact. So I've done the work, Yeah. And so with all of that experience, I think it's my obligation to tell people that are on the same path, because they're going to have the same problems I did if they don't have anyone, kind of laying out the information that would hopefully give them a different outcome or a quicker outcome. Yeah. So that's my way of helping people is my social media. And it's all free, obviously, that's right. But it's not free eventually, because they watch the social media and then they find out I'm doing an event here. They buy tickets. Then they come and buy tickets and they realize LightSpeed exists. And then they get LightSpeed. And then they realize, I'm a cool dude. I'm actually like I am on social media. So now they want to, invest with me and together and buy buildings and real estate and deal flow. And like, dude, it's just this, all you have to do for the people listening. It sounds cliche, but if you really want to be financially well off, you have to just stop worrying about the money coming to you and figure out how you can help a lot of people. Yeah. And if you can figure out how to help a lot of people and enjoy yourself, That's even the best. I like making social media content. I wish my day consisted of pure traveling around and letting people witness my life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have real businesses. I have employees. I have situations just like everybody else. I'm not one of those influencers that just make content.
Yeah, you're a business owner.
I'm a businessman that happens to be, get some followers. I'm not an influencer. I do get paid for posting, but it's just extra. And it's like, I don't try. That's just what happens when you start to get followers. I am not an influencer. I am not a social media person. I'm a business person. I have several businesses that require my attention all day, every day.
Yeah.
Now, my podcast is because all these people were coming into LightSpeed to create their courses. And so I said, I should get a couple of microphones and pick their brain while they're here.
Yeah.
Because when they were in the studios making courses, it was all scripted curriculum.
Yeah.
It was not just open conversation.
Yeah, it was all planned.
Yeah, and I wanted to know, well, where'd you learn that? And why do you think that's the case? And I just wanted to talk.
Yeah.
So I got 2 microphones. Everyone said, don't do it. There's a million podcasts. Everyone's got a podcast. Now that podcast does 5-6 million a year on the side.
Yeah.
Like accidental.
It's a good on the side accidental.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
I was just trying to help people.
It was a result of, not a mission towards.
I didn't say, hey, let me start a podcast so I can make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I said, listen, my mission in life is to get the knowledge from the people who have it, like you, to the people who need it.
Yeah.
Because the reason people are failing, at least in my opinion, it's not because they want to, it's they don't have the right information. No one's giving them the right information.
Agreed.
And you have to have new information in order to create new beliefs. And you have to have new beliefs to create new behaviors. And those new behaviors is what creates the results.
Yeah.
So if you want to change what you're getting, you have to change what you're doing. Would you agree?
100%.
Okay, so in order to change what you're doing, you must change what you believe.
Correct.
Because the reason you do what you do is because of your belief system.
Yeah.
So the only way to change your beliefs is to get new information. The same information won't do it.
No.
It has to be new information. So here I am in a position where I'm talking to all kinds of subject matter experts and gurus and famous people who have succeeded in life. It's my obligation to get the knowledge from those guys and get it to the guys that are needing it. When I say guys, I mean people.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? I don't need any feminists hollering out and crying. Okay, guys, girls, whatever. People.
Yeah. You're the conduit. You're the conduit.
Dude, listen, we all have to have a mission in life.
Agreed.
My mission is to get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it.
So you talked a lot, and we talk about this. I talk about it in my book that your beliefs drive your emotions drive your behaviors drive your results, all the things you just said. So where did your belief system come from? Where did your belief system come from? Because you have very firm beliefs, and you don't shy away from that. If you watch any of the podcasts, watch any of the social media, you're very grounded in your beliefs. Your beliefs, to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, drive a lot, if not every single behavior you have.
That's true for us all.
Right. Perfect. So where do those belief systems come from?
Originally, obviously, parents, community, your village, your tribes.
Yep. What you listen to, what you watch, what you read.
Everything. So originally, from the ages of 1 to 8 is when a lot of our, belief systems are formed, our programming. I call it programming.
That's what we call it. That's what we call in the book, programming.
Well, you're being programmed.
Yeah.
And so I think my original programming was, came from parents and family and village and society and the news and the weather and the books that I didn't read and all that.
Yeah.
I think my current programming comes from the same things. I just choose different ones. Mm-hmm. I already realized that a lot of what I was being taught was total bullshit. Mm-hmm. Money doesn't grow on trees. Well, again, technically money's paper, and that is coming from trees, so that's false. Number 2, fly under the radar. Fly under the radar. What are you talking about? Get on the damn radar. People say be patient. Listen, I'm sure there's times when patience would make sense. Like, if a girl says, let me slip into something more comfortable, be patient. Okay, but when it comes to building your dreams and like getting what you want and getting sales and busting through goals and objectives, you don't need to be patient. You need to be more intense. You need you need to be obsessed. You need to be more passionate, more active. And then people confuse activity with progress. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
So now you have to think, right? And so when you start to think a little bit, you start to realize, like, wait a minute, my parents were full of shit.
Yeah.
My parents were full of shit. They were nice, but they weren't rich and they weren't correct. They were incorrect. They said you get a good job, you work hard, and that's what you do.
Get your 401k and then retire at 65 and ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, well, again, maybe if that's what you're looking for, but in my mind, if you want to be rich, which I always wanted to be rich, you have to get in the position to receive commission. I've never met anybody that's rich that is not in a position that receives commission.
Yeah.
So if you're out there with a salary job, I promise you, you're more than likely heading down the wrong path. Now, if you want to be rich,
right.
If you want to be comfortable, sure, you can be comfortable.
Well, you're replacing security for abundance.
You know, people always say, how do you say this in front of your team?
Yeah.
And you can ask my team. It's the truth.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. I agree.
People say, so should I quit? Yeah, you probably should,
if you want to be rich, or find a way to put yourself in position to show value and get commission.
Yeah, and you don't have to quit. That's where people like take it to an extreme. Like, listen, you got kids, you got bills, don't quit. But if you're foolish enough to just, that's your whole life is your salary cubicle job, then you're not going anywhere.
Correct.
In my opinion.
No, which is fine if you want to go, if you don't want to go anywhere.
Well, I don't think it's fine, but that's just my opinion.
If somebody,
they're happy, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But dude, they're not happy, dude. People got to quit lying to themselves. They're not happy. Okay, show me someone who doesn't want to be rich, and I'll show you somebody who licks lead paint. Okay, there's no reason in the world why someone doesn't want to be rich.
Agreed.
They might pretend they don't
Agreed.
Because they can't figure out how, and they're justifying why they're not. And that's what a lot of parents do. Money's not everything, Chad.
No, but
You better quit. The Lord's gonna look down upon you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's not true either.
No.
Okay.
No. But I think the key.
God wants you rich.
Agreed. That's what we talked about this when I was on your show. That we were designed for abundance. We were designed for abundance, not to have a life of lack. But abundance, what most people think is, what people confuse is, money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil.
I thought Satan was the root of all evil.
No, well.
See, that's another bullshit thing they're saying. Like money, it's just somebody running their mouth, and then everybody believed it, and now it's there.
Well, I think no. Well, the Bible says it's the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, I think the key is it the money you love, or is it the facilitation that money does for you? What money does?
Well,
for
you know that Bible was written by a man.
I get it.
Okay.
I get that.
And you know that like the Bibles we read today weren't even the same as they were before.
That we could get into a whole.
Do you know why the King
about that.
James version is so widely used?
Why is that?
Because he was a king, and it's the only one he allowed.
The only version he allowed to be used.
Yeah, like dude, he got his own version. Even in the title, it's the King James version. Like, why do you get a version? Like, how about where's the actual thing? Well, there was no Bible. There were scriptures, and those scriptures were written by several men, supposedly influenced by God. But at the end of the day, regardless of what people believe, whether love of money is the root of all evil, I always thought it was Satan, but I could be wrong.
But is it for you? Is it the money, or is it what the money does? Because money by itself does nothing. It's what is it? Money for me, money's not a motivator; it's a facilitator.
Well, but you gotta. They call me literal Lee sometimes because my last name's Lee.
Yeah.
And like when I hear things, I take things literally.
Yeah.
So money itself is dirty. Most of it has cocaine granules on it. Yeah. Like, I don't love money at all.
Right.
I prefer a credit card that has no limit, and I never had to pay it. Like, imagine living where you don't need any money ever, and you never will. Dude, That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is provide that for everybody. And it is possible for everybody.
Agreed.
And based on your lifestyle, it could be quicker. Like if I decided that I'm comfortable at 40 grand a month coming in without working, I'm already past that. So I could retire right now. But brother, I want to fly in a G650 whenever I fly. I want to stay at the nicest hotels. I want anyone I'm with to fly in my G650. I want the decadent lifestyle.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
I have a Rolls Royce. Why would I want a Honda Accord? Now, again, people that, oh, you're bragging. It's not bragging. That's the point, and that's what isn't going to work. So anybody that sends the hate my way, all you're really doing is poisoning your own environment. What kind of dumbass sends hate at all?
Yeah.
Like if I spew hatred into the world, don't I live here too?
Yeah.
Well, then I just dirtied up my own environment.
Yeah.
Spread freaking love. Contribute to the world. Add to the value of the world. People that are hating out there, it doesn't affect me. In reality, it actually affects you. You ever read the 4 Agreements?
Oh yeah, one of my favorite books
So be
of all time.
impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
People think that means, your word, be very careful what you say about things. Well, it does, but if I talk shit about you, that's actually going to affect me.
That's right. It's more about being impeccable with your word with yourself above
Stop
first.
talking shit.
Yeah.
Okay? The fact that I prefer a Rolls Royce doesn't make me a bad person.
No, of course
And
not.
if someone's thinking, oh, listen to him.
Well, that's what happens. And I gave a talk to the University of Alabama Business School about this. About most people are so afraid to do what you just did, because they say, I really want a Rolls Royce. But man, that's really ego. That's really like people. But people are gonna look down at it and they go, you know what? I'll just settle. I'll just settle for a Hyundai.
That's
They hedge their own life.
allodoxophobia.
What's it called?
Allodoxophobia.
Allodoxophobia. What is it?
It's the fear of other people's opinion.
Yeah. So they hedge their own life. They hedge their own life, and they're
they limit themselves.
Yeah.
They don't take action that they could or should because they're worried about what everyone else is going to think. Some people wouldn't say what I just said because they don't want to come across a certain way.
That's exactly
Listen, I'm just telling the truth. I prefer nice shit.
Yeah.
I want luxury. Why is that a bad thing?
No,
I don't want a Timex. I want a Rolex. People, well, that's not even the real thing. You could go get, Richard Milles. I don't like them. I don't care what they represent. I like what I like, and I want what I want. And when I see it, it's usually luxury for some reason.
Yeah.
Now, again, I go camping. Bro, there's nothing luxurious about camping.
Yeah.
But if they had a place where you could go camping, they call it glamping, where the tent, because I like tents and actual campfires. I don't want to sleep in an RV. I want a tent and sleeping bags, and I want the whole thing. So if they had a preset, if they had a service where I could spend a little bit of money, and I show up to my campground, and I got the best, most kick-ass equipment already laid out, campfire going, marshmallow on the sticks for my kids, little screen set up for movie night under the stars in Montana. You don't want that?
I definitely want it.
No, I want to show up in my truck and get out and spend 6 hours setting it up. And no, dude, it's called tell the truth. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be well off. If they don't think they do, it's more than likely, and again, there's always exceptions to every rule. I'm not going to say every person on earth, but there's got to be a situation where they're limiting their belief or their programming is telling them that it's not okay to feel that way.
That's exactly right.
And I say, bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree 100% with that. So now, how do you change that programming? How do you rewire that programming?
You want me to get simple?
Yeah.
You choose to.
You just say, that's it.
Dude, listen, everything boils down to a choice.
Yeah.
God gave us free will. It's a gift. It's the power that everyone keeps talking about. There's a power inside you, Chad. You just need to find it and tap into it. And make people think like there's this beam of light or this Marvel comic power somewhere I got to tap into. It's not that it's not that big of a thing. It's called the power of choice. You can choose. So, for example, people wake up in the morning. Mm-hmm. They choose to look at their cell phone check some emails, or they choose to get up and hydrate and meditate. Those are choices, right?
Correct.
So this choice, I read that, my bank account's low. I see my bank balance in my emails. I see that, a comment from a hater. And now I'm choosing to basically react to these.
Have an emotional reaction to it.
Those are choices.
Yep.
I can choose to be upset, or I can choose to be happy. But we allow emotions to take over. So everything boils down to a choice. Or I could have chose to get up, leave my phone alone, work out a little bit, prepare for all this negativity that I know is working, and ultimately be grateful.
Yeah.
Because I get the day. So to me, it's like, it starts with your energy, because we're all just a frequency. We're
That's
vibrational
right.
energy.
All vibrations.
Yeah, 100%. That's scientific and spiritual.
Yep.
They both agree to that.
Agreed.
We are energy. Okay, so if we're a vibrational frequency, who gets to choose our frequency?
We do.
100%.
100%.
Just like if you got in my car and I was listening to country and you don't like country, you'd reach over, boop, turn on rap.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Well, how do I change to rap? Boop, no big deal. Same thing comes with choice. You wake up in the morning, you can choose to be pissed, or you can choose to be happy.
But you don't understand. I got kids, and my husband's this, and my wife's that, and my boss is this, and so it's easy for you to say because you live in a happy bubble where that's not reality for most people.
You also get to choose your reality. So at the end of the day, why do you have a bitchy wife?
Yeah.
What are you doing to make her bitchy?
Yeah.
And if she's just a bitch, then what are you keeping her for?
Why are you choosing to say?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you get what you tolerate. So if you decide I'm done with people treating me a certain way, and you literally stop tolerating that treatment, it will disappear.
That's right.
Everything that you stop tolerating will disappear. Write down on a list everything you don't like about your life or anything in it, and then just put at the top, stop tolerating these things. And literally make a choice to not tolerate that. They will slowly disappear, and sometimes quickly disappear.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like my shitty car, I'm going to put that on my list. Well, throw away the keys. Well, I don't have a different car yet. Exactly. So you actually appreciate that for now, don't you? Yeah, so get it off the list. Put down what you truly don't want and stop tolerating it. So when people say, yeah, but you don't understand, Brad, my life is this. You made it that way, and you've decided to make it that way, and people don't want to take ownership. Yeah. They have a victim mentality. They want to blame other things and other situations. When in reality, they're choosing it.
Yeah.
So listen, I come from a fat family. I should be fat. Mm-hmm. I'm choosing not to be fat.
You're choosing that by your beliefs and your behaviors.
No, by working out and eating.
Yeah, well, your beliefs say I'm not going to be fat. My behaviors are I'm going to work out and eat the right way.
No, my choice is I'm not going to be fat.
Yeah.
Nope. Why? Well, because I want to live longer. I want to look better. I know people are judging me, and I'm not. And I know that the better looking people in this world get more opportunities. The better looking you are, the more opportunities you get just out of the box. That's unfair, but guess what? It's the damn truth.
It's true.
The truth. The truth is more than the truth. Okay? When it's the truth, that means damn, dog. That's the real deal.
That's some real shit. So what's a belief that you had to change that didn't serve you well at a certain period? What was a belief that you had that you were like, all right, it's going on the list. I'm changing this because I'm choosing a different belief?
One of the first ones was that it's not easy. Life isn't easy. Yeah, it pretty much is. Getting rich isn't easy. Yeah, it pretty much is. Okay? I mean, it's not rocket science. It's pretty damn easy. Why can't most people do it then? Because number one, ask most people if getting rich is easy. They're going to say no. Ask anybody. And the reason why they say no is because they don't know how to do it. So they're lacking the information is the only thing stopping people from getting rich. Just like salespeople. Well, dude, have you walked into companies and turned around their sales and started, all of a sudden they're going this way? Why weren't they before you?
Yeah, because they weren't.
What did you do? Did you bring in your magic dust?
No, not at all.
No, you brought in information. You caused them to shift the way they were thinking.
Shift their perspective.
And the thinking changed what they were believing. And then all of a sudden, they started doing different things.
Yeah.
You inspired somebody to take different actions through information, which changed their beliefs, which caused them to at least try. And next thing you know, they start realizing, man, words matter. Man, I got to stop talking shit to myself. I got to stop saying things like that. And pretty soon they start to evolve and they start to become better and their momentum picks up. And then they start to realize like, wow. And by the time they get to a point, they go, if they're telling the truth, that wasn't really that hard. Like, it's not hard.
It's not hard.
I don't believe it's hard. And for me, it's not. That's the craziest part about the mind.
But you did at one point.
I used to.
Yeah.
I was taught all my life, dude, it's not easy. Not very many people are going to get rich. You can't just go out and get rich.
But that's not true.
That's 100% not true. Anyone can. Anyone can. I don't care. You ever heard the whole saying, I was pissed off that I had no shoes until I met a man with no feet?
Yeah.
Like, there's, you know, my wife and my kids and I got problems and my rent's due. Boo-hoo. There's people that would pray to be in the position you're in right now. Yeah. And if I walked into your house in that situation with a gun to your head and you knew I was about to pull the trigger, would you care that you owed rent?
No.
What if I was about to blow your kid's head off? Would you care that they're getting bad grades?
Nope.
I'd say, yeah, but they're getting bad grades, Chad.
Yeah. No.
What would you say? That's fine.
Yeah.
Please let them live.
Yeah, I'll settle for their bad grades.
Yeah, but we don't celebrate the fact that we wake up every day with a whole nother chance to do anything. So again, I choose gratitude first thing in the morning, which changes my energy. And the energy and the vibrational frequency that you give off will attract like energy. So some people wake up and they're not aware of this choice, because that's what it is. And they allow other people to determine their energy. It's like if you love country music and I come over to your house in the morning and change it to rap and you don't know how to change it back. Right. Or you just keep allowing everyone to change your frequency.
Change my frequency.
Yeah, you got to be able to see, hey, it's a choice. Who makes your choices? I do. Okay, good. So what should I do? Start using that power. Choose for yourself. Then you take responsibility. Then you start to realize, man, if this is a frequency game, an energy game, I just have to have good energy.
Yeah.
I call it heavenly energy and earthly energy. Earthly energy is down here, heavenly energy is up here. Now, why? Because I want to keep it simple. What do you think, what kind of energy do you think would be in heaven? And then down here on earth, what would you think? Well, down here, you got the greed, the envy, the doubt, the worry, the fear, right? The depression. Yeah. Up here, what do you have?
Love.
You can ask a 2-year-old. They'll be like, joy, happiness, courage, love. Exactly. All the good shit.
Right. There's no bad shit up there.
Okay. So you got the good shit here and you got the bad shit here. And by the way, we live here.
Yeah.
But you can choose to operate here or here. What would be the most common sense, logical choice?
Yeah. Use that energy down here.
Choose this energy
for down here.
Well, you live down here until you maybe get up there. But my point is, you get to choose. You don't have to have this energy just because you're here.
That's right.
You can choose to have this energy.
Yeah.
It requires a little bit of awareness that you get that choice. But as soon as you choose this energy, this still exists, but you're not allowing it to affect you. Now, again, it's easier said than done. If something real bad happened, I might catch myself feeling a certain way. Well, I use emotions as a trigger, not a controller.
Yeah. Emotions are meant to modify behaviors. Emotions are meant to, if you're aware of the emotion, they'll modify your behavior. Yeah, that's the trigger.
Well, again, I use it as a trigger. What they're designed to be is awareness. Hey, I'm feeling pissed off. Why? Now, do I want to be pissed off? No, I don't. Okay, well then, stop being pissed off. And if you get self-control like that.
Self-regulation, yeah.
Yeah, I've caught myself getting pissed for a minute, and then I go, you almost had me, dirty dog. You almost had me.
I'm good now.
Yeah, because I'm aware and I catch myself. But that energy is a choice.
Yeah.
So if you choose the right energy from the minute you wake up, and you're grateful, that's like a very high frequency, and you're authentic, which is even a higher frequency, and you realize that all of this still exists and it's going to hit you all day long, and the more you allow it to hit you, and the more you hang around it, the harder it is. So just choose to stay around the positivity.
Yeah.
I don't choose to listen to negativity. I don't choose to hang around limited mindset, negative people that are complaining and whining and bitching and moaning. If I walk into a room and it's filled with negative, whining, bitching people, I will try to shine my light real quick. And if it doesn't illuminate the room, I'll just find another room.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm not staying in a dark room. Why? Well, because I get to choose.
Yeah.
Why would I choose to be in the dark if I could choose to live in the light?
Yeah.
And you do get a choice.
What's the reason you think people do that? What's the reason people choose to stay in that dark room?
Well, they're programming, number one, and number two, I also think it's Satan.
What do you mean?
I mean, dude, I don't think Satan wants you to win.
No.
I believe. I mean, if you believe in God, then you got to believe in Satan.
Agreed.
So one time I was on Chat GPT when it first popped out, and now I see people doing it all the time. But I posted this a long time ago. Now I see other people doing similar things. But I had been on Chat GPT and I searched, if you were the devil, how would you keep me from being successful? And it started saying, I would whisper things like you're not good enough. I would affect your doubt and your fear. I would surround you with the wrong people. I would keep you, addicted to video games and comforts. And, I would whisper things like this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, dude, I've heard that 1,000,000 times. Like, that is what I'm hearing. That is why.
That's Satan at work.
Dude, that's the dark side, keeping you small, because he doesn't want you to be big and be enlightened and figure it all out, because this world is fantastic if you see it that way. But when I wake up in the morning, dude, I'm excited. Nothing special has to happen that day.
Yeah.
If nothing good happens, it was still a great day.
Yeah. So you have 7 kids.
7 kids.
7 kids, all under the age of what? What's the oldest? How old's the oldest?
The oldest is 38.
38, and youngest?
3.
3. So what's the programming you've instilled in those 7 kids, and how's it varied from the 38 to the 3?
Well, the 38 and the 36 I didn't really raise, and they're libtards. No, actually, one's not. One is, one's not. So I take that back. But I can't take credit for either one of them, even though they're both good kids. Yeah. One's just not that bright when it comes to politics. But she loves the underdogs. She wants to fight for the underdogs. And I think a lot of Democrats believe that, all of those things are good for people, which I lean that way. I do believe in welfare and helping people, but it gets abused and you never really know. So I'm not as far as right as people think I am.
Yeah.
And because again, I want to help people. Yeah. I do believe that we should have welfare programs, and if you need help, we all should come together and help each other. Period. But when you're selling your food stamps for weed, when you're having kids just to get more food stamps, like, get a job. Like, let's educate them, let's empower them, because nobody wants to feel that way.
Nobody.
But I do believe we should help people that really need help.
Yeah.
Just anyway, I don't want to get into politics, but so, the top 2 I didn't really raise.
Yeah.
I just produced. I have 7 kids from 4 women. Now it does sound a little trashy, doesn't it? But I can explain. It's very explainable. The first one was a one-time high school sweetie. Wasn't even a sweetie. I asked her to go out with me. She said yes. We went out. Bang. Yeah. That's it. One time, baby. So, did you do anything in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not trashy. That's just teenagers.
Just teenagers, right.
So, there's one. Then I said, I better not do that again. And so I waited till I was about 19. Some girl came around in a 280Z and wanted to let me drive it. So I went and drove it. Well, it turns out she liked me. Bang. One time, 1 kid. 2 for 2. First time I did it, kid. Second time, kid.
Oh.
Now people say, you only did it twice? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't running around banging everything. Yeah. But I was effective. Right?
Very, clearly.
So I was immature and young, and so I wasn't sitting there being a dad. I didn't marry them, nor did they want me to marry them. It was just, I had a kid. Yeah. So they kind of raised those 2. Matter of fact, they didn't even really know I existed till they were about 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, their moms weren't very open with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, then they came to live with me at 13, and I was responsible from then on. But then I was kind of trying to be their friend more than
Then the
their
father.
parent.
Yeah.
I was young still. Then I came down and met my first wife, right? So there's 2 women, 2 kids, boom. Now I got married.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, nope.
So we had a couple of kids. And then she wanted to be the boss, and that position was already filled. So we had to move along.
Yeah.
And then I met my current wife, and she wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. So we had 3 with her. So it's 7 with 4. It sounds bad, but it's really not.
It's explainable.
Yeah. So the first 2 I didn't really get to raise. My 2 boys are pretty well off, but again, arguing in the divorce, and I was still a little immature with them. But they're again, thank God, all my kids are fine and great compared to what they should have been with my lack of parenting skills.
Yeah.
But now the current 3, that's 12, 10, and 3, and I think I'm doing a much better job with those.
So where did you, at what point did you say, hey, I'm gonna be more conscious about how I raise them or parent them or program them? Is it a conscious choice every day? Like, hey, I realize I'm programming them on how they view the world.
Well,
And I'm a lot more conscious about it.
Schools were programming them faster than we could, so I took them out of school and stole one of the teachers from the school and put her on salary, and now, I program them better than they were getting programmed. But people got to watch out for schools. Oh yeah, schools are programming your kids.
Of course.
And then their friends, the internet. My wife, she hadn't had kids, so she's learning the hard way, and I got to wrestle with her because she wants to baby them and give them everything like I did.
Yeah.
And you can't do that very well. So we've still got room for improvement. I think if I, end up with 3 more, I'll be the perfect dad.
That's 10 kids. That'd be 10 kids. It's a big family.
Hey,
So
go forth and multiply. You ever heard that?
I have.
I'm just doing what I'm told, son.
So what role, where in your all the hats you wear is the fatherhood role? You're a business owner, you're a husband, you're
Well, it depends on the day. I believe there's no balance, there's priorities. So at some point, you got to clear the schedule, go pay attention to the kids or the wife.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to your wife, you'll come home, find out she ain't your wife. So depends, depends on the day. I believe in priorities. Your business needs attention, go focus on it. Give it all you got. Ignore everything else, including your kids.
Yeah.
Did he say that? Yeah, I've said that a million times. And guess what? Those kids probably don't need as much of your damn time as you think. I think that's all bullshit too,
Yeah.
You give your kids quality time when you're with them. If they need you, be there. And their priorities. So one day my hat is CEO. The next day my hat is parent. The next day my hat is husband. Could be husband for 5 days straight.
Yeah.
But I also, realize that, believe it or not, it's all priorities. There's no balance. There's no such thing as balance.
What's your biggest fear?
Probably like plane crashes, getting beat up by multiple dudes to the brink of death.
That's a physical fear. What's your biggest psychological fear?
It's all physical. I fear nothing mentally.
You don't fear losing all this?
Oh, no. Listen, no.
Why not?
Well, because number one, you can get it back.
Yeah.
Number two, being broke wasn't that bad for me.
But now you've tasted it. Now you've tasted not being broke, but you've been broke. So now you have context that some people will never have.
Yeah, but dude, broke wasn't that bad. Nate's broke. Is that bad? Look, he's having fun in life.
No, he's got Yeezys on.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, being broke's not that bad. Do you remember being broke?
Yes.
Was it that bad?
No.
Everybody wants to pretend it's so terrible. It's not that terrible. You're just living without all the stuff. Now, pay attention to what I'm about to say. If I said to you, today's your last day, what would you be doing?
Spending with my family.
How much that cost?
Nothing.
The shit that really matters doesn't cost any money anyway, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
And if you ask somebody, what would you do if you were going to die the next day or even in a week, what would you be doing? They wouldn't be like, I'd be running around hookers and blow. Now, some might, but they just got their priorities messed up. I think by the time they finish doing that, they'd be sad because they have kids or they have family.
Yeah.
You know, that's who they're thinking about.
That's right.
And so at the end of the day, the realest things in life don't require money. Mm. And once you get money and you get the toys and you have all the fun stuff, which I have, most of it, I'm still waiting on a few things. You realize if you lost it all, you still got your family, you still got you still got friends. You can just hang out and enjoy if you find enjoyment in the simplest of things, which I do. So again, like if I go broke, just maybe gives me an opportunity to do it again, prove it all over again.
Yeah, I might even build it bigger and better.
Well, you probably would. But I mean, I like proving people wrong. You know, people are like, what's your motivation? Sometimes my motivation is just to fucking say, I told you, bitch. Don't doubt me. And then the other one is I'm not where I want to go. So some people say, you know, what keeps you going? And I'm like, well, I'm not where I want to be. They're like, yeah, but you're fine. I'm like, well, imagine you get up in the morning, right? And you got to go to the bathroom. How come you don't just stop halfway across your room and piss there? Just because that's not where you're going. You're headed into the bathroom.
Yeah.
So why don't you just stop halfway? Why don't you stop at the sink?
That's not where I'm going.
It'll work.
Yeah. That's not where it belongs, and that's not where I'm going.
That's what keeps me going. I'm not where I want to be. Now, let me get where I want to be. People say, oh, then you'll want to go somewhere else. Again, I get to choose. Yeah. Don't try to put your thoughts onto me. I know me. When I get where I'm going, I'm done with the whole chasing of the money. Yeah. Now I'm going to go enjoy the money. Yeah. I'm going to travel. I'm going to spend time with family. I'm going to get my kids pictures next to the greatest of icons, Eiffel Tower, pyramids, you know, everything. I just want them to have pictures of them all over the world. And I'm going to try to spend it all before I die. Mm.
So I got two last questions for you. So I've got to spend a couple of days with you now. I've had a parasocial relationship with you in the sense of I felt like I knew you before I met you. I've watched all your videos. I've listened to all your podcasts. Tonight, I'm going to pray for you. What should I pray for?
Pray that I arrive.
Arrive where?
With Him. Mm. Pray that I'm accepted and I'm approved. Mm. I pray that I'm one of the ones.
Yeah, love that.
I mean, at the end of the day, dude, that would be, when you say, what do you fear? That's really what I would fear. I would fear not doing it right. Because from what I hear, that is not a good result.
No.
Like eternal lake of fire. Mm. Like, you know how long eternity is?
Long time.
Can you imagine if that were all real and the people that could have just easily chose God didn't, and now they have to burn in a lake of fire? Now, again, I have my issues and I'm seeking information in that regard because I don't necessarily believe in that there's a burning lake of fire and you have like pain and agony the whole time, like forever. How long is forever? And if you were burning forever and you felt that way forever, it would become normal eventually, wouldn't it?
Eventually, maybe. I don't know.
But if it didn't, dude.
It's not even a mindset that I want to go down.
Okay, so that's the fear.
Yeah.
If I had a mental fear, it would be that I don't get into peaceful heaven. Now, if I die and there's nothing, we were all full of shit and it was all wrong, well, it's nothing. Who cares? I'm done. It's over.
Yeah.
But if there is something, my fear would be not doing it right. Yeah. And being, hey, good job, my boy.
Yeah.
Good job. Come with us. Come on in, friend. I want them to invite me in.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't you freak if you get judged and they're like, and here we are thinking we're helping people and doing all this, and he says, you didn't read that part where money was the root of all evil?
Yeah.
Go away, you rich bastard. You shouldn't have got rich. You should have been poor this whole time.
Yeah.
You should have been humble and worn a dirty robe
Yeah.
and walked around and just told everyone about me.
You should have just believed. Because that's what gets you in.
Well, I believe. No. I think what gets you in is what he did. I don't think it's what you did. I don't think you can get in. I think what he did already got you in.
Got you in.
Yeah, you're
but
in.
you have to believe that he's in.
Huh? Did I get an amen back there?
You have to believe that he's in and that he did it for you. You don't believe that, you're not getting in.
Well, number one, I believe it.
Yeah.
Number two, like,
look at the three men on the cross. One got in, one did not.
I know, but I didn't have to do anything.
Correct. You just had to be.
He did it all.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And I already believe that. So, I'm in. I'll see you there.
Then you're in.
Will I see you there?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. I can attest to that 100%.
I hope you are.
Yeah. When you leave this earth 50, 60 years from now, what do you want your contribution to have been?
I would say, again, I mean, just that I helped, you know. I want people better off than I find them. And I want the world better than I found it. And that's the thing of the whole mission of getting the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it, because I truly want to live in a better world. I mean, this world's getting pretty jacked up.
Yeah.
There's some, but this world is also Satan's world. Like, we live on earth, and that has been and in control of the evil side. Bible says that too.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I just want to live in a better world, and I think I can make my own world better, but how do I make the world better? Because if I truly want to live in a better world, then the whole world has to improve, not just me. So that's why I'm on this mission, because if I can get everyone to understand that, man, there's abundance everywhere. All we have to do is literally change our energy, stay consistent, you know, and operate in a frequency of abundance and positivity. The whole world changes. And pretty soon there is no more lack, and there is no more hunger, and there is no more problems. Now, someone says, well, that's not realistic, Brad. It actually is realistic if everyone did it. Well, that's not realistic. Again, that's your business. I'm just going to try. I'm just going to keep doing what I do and hope when I die, people go, the world's a better place because he was here.
Brad Lee dropping bombs, telling the truth. The truth.
Tell the truth, folks.
Tell the truth.
Sometimes it hurts. It's like poetry. Not everybody likes it.
Give me three people right off the top of your head, like first three people that come to name that I should have on this podcast.
I believe you should have Elon Musk.
Yes.
I believe you should have Donald Trump.
Yes.
And I think you should have Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Is she still alive?
I don't know, but if you can get her.
Where did you come up with those three?
Those are just three ones I would want to watch.
Brad Lee, check him out. Where do people find you? I'm saying that's such a easy question, because you just got the
easiest.
Click on the button.
You go to Google and you type Brad Lee, and it'll show you a million places to find me. But you know, my website's bradlee.com. I'm on Instagram, all over social media as The Real Brad Lee. It's Lea. Remind people.
Yeah.
Most people say, is that Leah? And I say, I don't know. Do you drink Tia? It's Lee.
Lee.
I've had people argue with me. They're like, you know, Brad Leah? And I go, it's Lee. And they're like, well, it's not spelled Lee. And I said, well, yes, it is. They're like, no, Lea is Leah. And I go, well, do you drink Tia? And they're like, Lea is Leah. I'm like, no, Leah might be Leah, but Lea is actually Lee, because you like read a book, you go out to sea, you know?
Yeah.
There's a split pea soup. It's not split pea, and you don't go out to sea.
You're like a human Dr. Seuss book. Like, you got all the rhymes.
Hey, they were gonna call me Brock, but then I would have been broccoli.
I don't know. The problem is, I don't know if you tell the truth right now, but you tell the truth.
They said that I was going to be called Brock until someone realized it would be broccoli.
They're like, nope, not going to do that to the kid.
Yeah,
if you could only have one social media platform, what would it be?
For me,
Only one.
For what purpose though? Because they all have their little different.
You only get one. Doesn't matter for what purpose. You get one. Pick one.
That I get to use?
Yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube. Why is that?
Well, because it's a bunch of videos and how to, and I'm interested in knowledge. Instagram is where I'm at most. Like if you hit me up on Instagram, I'm the one answering you.
Yeah.
TikTok is where I have the most followers because it was the most algorithmic in the beginning. It was like so easy to climb. So I got a bunch there. And I'm in there once in a while, but mainly I'm on Instagram or YouTube. But I'm on YouTube for me looking for knowledge. Right? And then I just started YouTube recently, and so we're getting up there. I want to get it over 1 million subscribers. I'm going to drop a lot of knowledge and long form on there. But if I had to pick just one and I could only have one, yeah, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, because I'm a knowledge seeker. Scrolling on TikTok and Instagram, you only get like a minute worth.
Limits.
Yeah, like YouTube's where the knowledge is.
Yeah, I love that. Brad Lee, check him out. Dropping Bombs podcast.
Peace.
Real deal.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, brother.